Hello people, Libluini here, and yes, the Lord of the Sinkholes, found Minnesota, is continuing his fight for the fate of the world, because the world should be underwater. So lots of messages about summoning. We have more death cubes and some more trolls, so we can troll the sea. A dire portent means someone else. I guess this is, I think, Pythium against. Oh, that's again someone making the Earthblood well. I'm guessing overwriting the old owner. Pythium also has rebuild of Constantinople 2.22 the Legatus, who is now its new prophet. Then we had some battles. First off, Agartha is attacking man. There's even something weird going on with diplomacy, or Agartha just invaded a second nation all at once. I guess they don't take us seriously. So anyway, then apart from this little skirmish, the Oracle of the Ancients and his little troop of fellows is still walking around taking up our provinces, but staying away from our... Okay, we have to of course get back on this. I'm back to 81. Well, I should probably keep some of them, just in case. I need a shit ton now, of course, for my best friend, the water elemental. But anyway, we now have a lot of troops concentrated here. Probably enough to hold off this little squadron. But of course, the Shard Knights could change this. The question is, since he's keeping away from my fortress, do I do something or do I move now? Well, I guess there is something like waiting for too long. So let's get on with things. My poor little frogs, you will need all the help you can get. So let's see what I can do here. It's probably for the best if the level 2 mages stay on research mode, because our research is terrible right now. And this of course means these guys all have to work with our level 3 mage now. Ah, fuck yeah. Okay, now I have to do some scripting here. You guys can just slowly glide forward. I only have a box formation for you, but of course in a turn I can just change that. You go back there. Probably need you for blessing of my other guys soon, and then I'll make up thin lines so I can keep all those bad guys away from our backline for some turns. Now, underwater, that's the important thing, we can now use summon water power, which means that he's now level 4 after one turn. So if he now summons a school of sharks, fuck yeah, there is an even stronger spell, but number of effects about 10. Several small sharks, it's not too bad, I guess. I guess I could do this. They're not stupid, not entirely reliable. Powerful mages can attract large numbers of sharks. Yeah, a level 4 mage would then summon, I guess, 12 of them. And since they can also show up in the back row, it would be a cute little surprise for the enemy leader. And since it takes a while for those sharks to show up and do something, well, why not? See, we should now be at fatigue cost. Well, that's something like 25 or something. So my water power is 20, but we of course are recovering something like 40, give or take. Then, yeah, 90. Yeah, but that means we can do this. Wait, fuck you. Can have him shoot out 2 elementals before he is taking a nap. Then anything else underwater? Cleansing water cannot be cast underwater. I have so much shit that doesn't work underwater, it's sometimes kind of funny. I guess. What is research doing? We are at enchantment level 4. Enchantment level 5 has awesome death magic, but it's going on with water. Friendly currents. Ah yes, that was the thing where I was aiming for. A nice little spell that will help us out. Then alteration 6 will take a while. Holy shit. We are too slow. Yeah, Frozen Heart. That's the nasty little spell each one of our tiny mages could do. Still, our enemy has lots of earth elementals, and even with 10 or 20 of the tiny guys shooting the Frozen Hearts at them, it would take a lot of hits to slowly erode them, I should say. So, nothing I can do here right now. Go back to scripting. I guess there is nothing else to do than to summon some little helper here. Then cast spells, please, and conservative magic gem usage. So now I have to go through my scripts because I don't have them all memorized. Divine Blesser, Normal Blesser, 5 is Falling Frost guy. Then we have the Earth Finger Magic, and then I don't have anything. So this is now script number 7. You know we are at a fairly advanced part of the game if you're slowly running out of scripting slots. Test. Yeah, it works. So we'll probably need 1 game, 2 game, 3 game, 4 games. So let's try how fast we get. Because of course, if the normal fatigue ends up making our mage sleepy, then of course we'll get into trouble. But no, 4 games and he can do everything I want. And then he's taking a nap. So let's put him at the flanks, so the water elementals have a chance to get around our little cuties there. Of course, some mages will carry more shit, so that's just... Yeah, these guys could have Cleansing Water or Ice Strike. But since they're on research duty for now, let's keep them at this. These guys, of course, yeah, they are out of range for movement now. So since there is not much happening underwater, I can send in my army here. And then we have these clowns here. Some more of these. Interesting to see how effective they are. If they are, I put them here, so they are close to the other bulk of extremely slowly moving assholes. The way these slimy little cubes move, combat speed 2, probably means that our frogs, who are 4 times as fast, will soon overtake them. So, equals you stay here with your reserve forces, while Fountain takes on with another line of... I think I still have a hole in my line down here. And then I have these guys here. Strength, high, which means lots of damage if they hit. Attack skill is super, defense skill equally so. But they are big enough to not immediately get trampled to death by the enemy. And they have lots of hit points. Not as much, but every little bit helps. And they have enough protection so they won't get full damage each time. And they have underwater regeneration plus normal regeneration. So I think this means underwater will have 20% regeneration, even more than the earth elementals. They are susceptible to acid. So I hope they don't get into range of our poor stupid blobs. They of course should hold and attack closest enemy. And now I have to... double line? Probably. I'll put them up here on this flank and put them a little bit backwards here, close in front of our froggies, because this way their hopefully not immediately walk into our acid spears here, because I have not a clue if those acid splashes could damage them accidentally. Dominion's games are the friend of the friendly fire, sadly. Oh, our god still has a flash wound, but he is also a mega mage on all accounts. So again, our deceased idiots can't come with us. So let's see, everyone who is as deceased is now going back to research. And then Fountain. And our level 3 friends. Yeah, that should be more than enough. Oh, Amun. How's it going? Oh, his hit points are back. Lucky me. Oh, he's back at 270 now. And I think one of his thingies is gone. I have to keep track of this. I don't make white mages too often. But if he fully recovers, that's good for us. Hopefully the others are recovering too. So this is the second squadron. As you can see, it's actually not that large in numbers, taking everything together. We have 36 units here and some mages. And then a squad, and I shouldn't confuse the terminology here. A little army here with another roughly 60-70 units. So in terms of numbers we are about equal, just that the enemy has higher quality troops as us, but only a single leader, so we can probably just doomsday him away even without the big funky spells. So let's go to 7. School of Sharks, I think, is one of those spells that will always work. Should have thought of making a version that's... fuck it. Let's put this guy there and remember to ammunition him up. As long as there isn't a big other army, I don't really need that much shit, because after that I can just shoot out normal underwater spells. Oh hey, if I destroy the main enemy force, I can just fucking hell do something like putting them somewhere else. For research, I mean. So let's keep it like this here. Summoning water power is of course the most important thing here. This is just the basic fucking thing. So since the trials are over there, I'm reinforcing with my dumb little elemental blowers down here. Yeah, underwater fighting is expensive. If I should want to make a suggestion here, it's probably for the best if you have to fight underwater a lot, for Frozen Heart, because that will turn any water mage you have into a deadly weapon, and this will cut down enormously on your usage of water elementals down here. I mean, you will probably still need them for big battles, but this then means you can have lots of squads of tinier, smaller armies. I'm saying this again. We have units, commanders. The units are organized into squads, and multiple squads are an army. Sorry, I'm confusing. If I'm confusing you accidentally. So this is not an army. I can already send them out. And then we have the second army geared for undead warfare. Those need some more scripting, of course. Now we have, funnily enough, Fountain here, who can go both ways, water and... Oh yeah, of course, he is a level 5 mage. He can do the friendly currenting. What can you do except watering it up here? He could go then primarily to Earth, since this is his best thing, and he is then level 7, which is a lot. Mass of the Earth. Area of effect is fairly big. Damage plus is 15 magic, but high protection units like those earth fuckers won't care about this. Shatter doesn't work. Rust missed. Huh. Funny. Blade Wind is nice to go, but it doesn't really work with 14 iron attack damage against the units that can tank most of that. We have Soldiers of Steel, which grants more protection for 20 plus squares on the ground. Fatigue cost is phenomenally high, but at 5 it would be something like 20, and at 6, 7, yeah, that's negligible. And we have Earth Shatter Hammers, which gives blunt and slash melee attacks. Let's take a look at our enemy. Since he's walking around, he's making it easier to look shit up. A Crushing Fist has pierce damage. I would have expected blunt damage, to be honest. So, going down here, the list of my Earth spells. Earth Shatter Hammers give... I haven't looked up here resistance. What's about our protection here? Soldiers of Steel. Well, more protection for our squishy dudes is probably for the best. So let's cast this 2 times to protect our units. Yeah, we have to, of course, level 5 evocation here. Mouth of the Earth. I'm thinking, but it's not doing enough damage to matter. Sure, it can hold someone, but since those dudes have lots of strength, that's possibly not doing much. Grants natural protection plus 13. Or plus 5 if 15 or higher. To shock. That's not a problem with this particular army. Area of effect, of course, is tiny. It's probably the better spells are somewhere up there. What's on the waterfront? A lot of this we don't really need. This can freeze enemy soldiers. Doesn't affect friendly units. That's nice to know. Area of effect is nice. What do we have here? Yeah, there's not much. We are on our way, but evocation only has a new spell at level 7. That's another one that doesn't work on the water. Well, since this spell works underwater, I guess we can try it out. It's probably helping more than any new fuckeries. Oh, Curse of Stone. I've completely forgot. This spell is the best. So we're going back here and going to Curse of Stones. And then Soldiers of Finger Magics. This makes more sense, I think. Curse of Stones. And since this is good for everyone who has buffing spells, I'm getting this aids for other Earth Mages. So now I'm giving him some, so he can fire more off, and some basic water gems just in case. Curse of Stone. Good that this shit works underwater. Now it will make everyone slower, and it will probably not affect the Earth Elementals too much, but the Shout Guards just behind them will feel that shit. Probably can do this here, since it's more of a one-time thing. Water Elemental. It's probably even better. Don't need all those shark schools. especially since water elementals will always obey our orders while the sharks won't. It's probably not a good idea to send off too many of them. So that's for a 12 we can send out 13, 4, 15, 18, 21. Let's make this 22. 2 school of sharks should be plenty, that's like 20 of them. And they can't do that much damage to them, or a nasty surprise for pesky enemy leaders if some of the sharks show up. But it's of course unpredictable and more with... no, 1 water gem. I thought that the other version, I guess, which is stronger. So this should be enough to deal with things. And even if this army is a lot stronger and can take our move much faster, these guys are also now on a timer. Also, since we are at war, I don't really have to go straight down here. If he is actually taking the slow way, and he's in the darks next turn, then I'm in utter deep as soon as he enters Mu. And then I can see how long it takes him to take Mu down. And if it takes a longer time, I can just walk across land here and take him from behind. Let's see, this would then mean 1 turn of siege, 2 turns of siege, 3 turns of siege, 4 turns of siege. So something like this. I'll keep things for now. And if he is closing in next turn, I'll probably send some more trolls here. Because these size 6 trolls add a lot of siege defense to our lines. Yeah, okay, I could also get some more frogs in the normal way. That would be smart too. Since he is taking this long way down here, I'm not complaining. Here we have a sizable army of nearly 200 units sieging on this big castle here. At least the good thing is, since we can't build castles, Bitra will immediately become more important to us than Quedra. So this army is now dealt with. Now we have a strategic problem. As you see, our friend Skeleria has moved around our throne instead of attacking. So 2 options, either 3 options. Option 1, they'll invade and take up the last of Pyrenees stuff, because our friends over here from Pythium are doing the same. And this could be even go into outright war between those 2 nations. Options 2, he continues his war with Asphodel by invading from this axis now, which is the Asphodel south, if you scroll right enough. Those weird maps with nothing here. There's a lot of shit going on here, but we don't have infinite. Oh, infinite. What's the word? Scouts. Infinite. We don't have infinite scouts. Oh. I misinterpreted things. Ah, yes, this is Asphodel's name. So Asphodel overrode Agartha's Earthblood Deep Well. Which, okay, Pythium still has stellar focus. There are lots of free slots as long as we don't try to summon something someone else already is using. The fun thing is, what we could use best is Maelstrom, which we can also use underwater. And it's on the way. We just have all those other fucking shit to research first. So enchantment 5 should be done, and then I can script another spell for those underwater dunes. And probably this means I should upgrade this here, so there are actually enough water gems there. Now I have this army here to deal with. Holy fucking shit. So Falling Frost is of course not exactly useful against undead, as we've explained over and over again last turn. So now I have to deal with something else. Water power doesn't work on land because that's the rules of the game, but we can use cleansing waters or Stygian skin. Stygian skin only affects the caster. So thing is, if the battlefield is overflowing with undead, we probably can hit them with our Evocation 6 spell anyway, but cleansing water only has 30 plus range. A level 3 mage, of course, well, on range 30 is a lot. I try to visualize this and fail all the time, but of course we can just look at shit here, like these assholes sending a second squad of weirdos towards man for some reason. Not that this bothers us, but holy shit, if I had my flyers, these guys are beefy, but they have not that much protection, and while they have some nice defense skill, if enough flyers are stabbing them over and over again, they will be dead really fast. But then it doesn't matter that they also have an average attack skill, so you have to keep fighting in close melee range, then they're kind of fucked anyway, because they will be kept being interrupted. So if there is nothing really scripted like Divine Blessing, of course that's helpful for these guys here. Team colored squares and some more details, please. Yeah, combat speed 6, so these are Defender of the Halls. They're not even sacreds. So why Divine Blessing? I guess because he can and because he has sacreds. But it's kind of weird to script Divine Blessing on someone who is... I guess it's just a precaution in case he forgets. If he puts shard people in there. I don't know. A simple bless would have done the same thing. But I guess if you have level 3 priest levels, why not use it? It's not like you gain tons of fatigue by just getting a blessing from your god. Okay, this already now completely fucked me up because I completely forgot what is going on. Oh, he has resistance. Earth Shatter Hammers. Yeah, that's a lot of buffing. All slash and blunt melee attacks from this unit will stun on hit. Yeah, that can be nasty. Oh, now I remember what I wanted to count. So, if you count from the back row, like, let's... oh, he isn't actually that far back. So let's say a mage stands here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the shrubbery thing here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So a mage standing in the back row can about shoot across the middle field to here, and that's it. So about half of the battlefield if we are being very, very generous. So why did I do this? Because now you have to understand that the very first thing in the scripting has to be a wrong shortcut. A spell that's kind of a buffing spell. You can of course already use Stygian Skin, not too much fatigue. And it gives them a bit invulnerability, so they are not immediately taking hit from any tiny little scratch they are getting. And now, after a turn of movement has passed, or not if they are on hold. Is there something else I can use? Quicken Self. I have always wondered how one spell per combat round, how this goes up with the casting time. I'm guessing if someone has 25% casting time, they're just cast their one spell really damn fast and then do nothing for the rest of the turn. Then this grants more protection to Cold 5. That's probably not good against possible any attack. Then we have a Gift of Formlessness. Grants Slash, Blunt and Pierce resistance and Wound Fan, but reduces strength and combat speed. But since this doesn't affect casting, we can then take Gift of Formlessness. Now those guys are really hard to kill, and after 2 turns we'll probably have a good chance of not breaking our scripting. I would of course like to fill up the entire roster just with cleansing water, but also I would like my mages to survive. So I got up to 8, right? Yes, so then this scripting is now 9. And I'm giving it to everyone in this army. Our mages are all a bit far behind. I of course can move all of them a bit up, so they're closer to the battle line. Don't want to bunch them up too much, but of course, if even after 2 turns no one is in cleansing water range, it would be awful, because then the game would just shrug and use another spell, mostly one at random, and then it's basically luck based to see if the game remembers the scripting the turn after that, after the enemy has gotten into range. Alternatively, you can tell your mages to just advance and cast spells. But this comes not, of course, at the risk that we keep advancing until they're in range. So if the enemy is far on the other side and tries to not move for as long as possible, then you have some trouble, especially as your mages will already cast spells in base fatigue if they don't have the right range anyway on the way. So now we have this guy who can turn himself into level 4 Earth Mage. So let's see. So he can have Curse of Steel, Curse of Stones, and then Soldiers of Steel. After that, we still have some slots free, and I really hope the game doesn't fuck me over by Mouth of the Earth. So why not? At that point, every little thing helps. And since I already have most of the shit scripted, I don't need another slot. And of course, everyone should have the basic cleansing water fuckery before I am going down the route of doing something special with the better mages. God Commanders, then we have Divine Blessings. This is of course interesting here. But we don't need all this shit here. Let's leave it to the rest of the weirdos, of the AI to decide what weirdo spell to use. We want to add some more cleansing water against our undead friends. And then the good old let's try to snipe attack. There's probably a huge ungainly mass of fuckers and they will all die ineffectively. But just in case there's an opening. Then we have our guys shooting here. I probably should revise those lines a little bit. So 9. We need cleansing water, as many cleansing waters as we can. Whoops, okay, and here is the problem. While this is just a box formation, they have been part of the reinforcements we had. Putting those here. Huh, and this is just a blesser. He can stay where he is. Then we have another guy who can cleanse water again. The second blesser cleans water. Cleans water. So, this is a lot of cleansing water. And the mages should be able to survive a little bit. Now we can of course use bigger spells. Our little elf friend already is cursing of stones. So the next big mage in the line. Let's see, what can we do with you? What kind of thing can you use on land? Is the question. Well, the best way to use this would be Fouling Frost because it's negligible at this level. I can just shoot this out forever. But no, we don't. Huh, okay. There's really no option right now because we still haven't unlocked anything useful. Quagmire is something we can use next turn, I think. That slows the enemy down even more. And us, but we are of course trying to gain time so our mages can get to work, so it doesn't matter if we get slower as long as the enemy is also slowed down. Now, of course, it's probably for the best to give all the shit to our bigger mages. This one already has. This one doesn't, so you can have the Gamp since you have more impressive looking skills. So I could of course shoot out water elementals, but yeah, our research is kind of not really up to the point where I can actually use something. We have all those medium levels right now. Yeah, there is Quagmire, something for our level 5 mage to do. Then next alteration 6. Do we have water here? A frozen heart and manifest vitriol. Someone's a green lion. That's it, the lion. Then we have conjuration 6 and 7. But that's more for summoning shit. And a bigger shark attack. So ironically that's more for underwater. And living water, which is finally something that's even great for our overwater. For our surface mages. And then we are speedrunning evocation again, because we need to get on with things. Well, why not? So it doesn't immediately end there. So now this army is as ready as it can be. Back to a strategical problem. Since I want to kind of not avoid a battle if I can, I have to do this now. I want to avoid Xibalba as hard as I can, just in case the disease problem shows up again. We are summoning allies here as long as it goes. And it's not much, but of course this guy doesn't ever stop. And since he is doing this independent from any recruiting mechanics, he can continue summoning allies even if I don't have the money to recruit troops in the castle here. And since those units are for free, I don't have to care if they suddenly develop a deadly disease. So what I'm doing here is now I'm parking my army into the barren cracks to shadow Scaleria, because of course Scaleria is a good player and not stupid, and if he wants to really fuck me over, he could make a beeline for my capital, since his big army could probably crack the little fortress of Xibalba faster than I could send in reinforcements if I stay down below here. If I'm up here and he doesn't attack me, good. Because then I gain another lead spell to use and our eventual confrontation will work out better. If he instead goes for the Barren Cracks directly, trying to trick me, then we have a huge battle and hopefully our preparations will be enough. It will be 228 living units and a ton of mages against this large block of approximately 400 to 600 undead. And a lot of those, I think, those skeleton riders Well, since those only have 5 HP, cleansing water will clean them out real fast. And our cheaper units have to keep the... to stay alive until then. Hopefully our layered defense will keep the undead away from us until cleansing water has deleted most of them. And if it doesn't come to a battle, fine. I'm fine with this until Agartha is dealt with. I can even talk to Skeleria if he actually moves into a different direction and doesn't want to attack me. All his other armies are still posted against Asphodel after all. But in case he is going for Trollwoods, which means he of course wants to immediately strike into Xibalba, I can just march after him. There is no connection, but since he needs at least a turn to crack Xibalba, I can then save my city. So we should be prepared, and there should be an impressive battle we will hopefully win. And my second army is marching off into the water to evict our little friends down below there. And the good news is, after I've deleted all those highly expensive, dangerous troops, at least I can then use my massive chunks of cheap troops to clear out the underwater realm again. Especially since he doesn't have an endless supply of amphibious units. That's actually a good point. I didn't look too closely what was happening against man. Defenders of the Hall are poor amphibians. So while they're big pieces of shit with their 20 hit points and their high protection, the problem with those guys is they have shit attack skills and they get even shittier as soon as they step underwater. So our normal troops should be able to clear them out real fast since they can't hit for shit. And of course they can be hit more easily. And the protection will be the only thing that protects them, but with their high encumbrance they will get tired faster than our troops get. For comparison's sakes, this is our basic frog. Attack skill terrible, but at least it won't get any more terrible. And protection and defense skill barely enough to survive a single hit if they get hit. Moral is also terrible, but a good roll and they can actually do some damage against someone with medium protection. And since I have a lot of them, well, 45 is less than they have. But it's of course not the end here. We have 200 frogs here, for example. And our sacred frogs also have better stats. A limp, okay. Attack skill 12 means a higher chance to sometimes score a hit. And since we can do magic damage and poison damage, that will rack shit up. Of course, since they are frogs, they are also highly encumbrant. And encumbrance 8, that's funny. Oh, frogs. Our frog units are kind of fucky. I mean this in a really bad sense. At least our flyers have less encumbrance. Well, they're also, of course, not exactly long-lived. Yeah, we don't really have the strongest nation in the universe here, don't we? So our main goal is to seek out some kind of army that can't walk into the water, so we have a leg up if we start sinking their cities. But that's all. All preparations are done, our two armies are on the march. Research is on the way, and we'll still manage to get enchantment 5 next turn. So then let's see, will we have our first big battle that's purely ours? Nice to see. Also, there was another string of battles here. Oh yeah, of course, this year. Oh, we actually got to see them. Yeah, 252 long deaths, horsemen, and 160 long deaths. They all have 5 hit points, so as soon as cleansing water touches them, they will melt immediately. The other long deaths, yeah, there are less of them. The Shadow Westers, they can actually survive a hit, and they can be made sacred. But since a large chunk of our troops does magic damage, They are not long for this world anyway. Yeah, we are kind of good here. The Thaumaturgs are astral and death, which means they can, of course, combine themselves into a big communion, giving death spells, which can be nasty. I think it depends on how insane this will be going. Having, say, 6 mages giving themselves a +1 and a +2 into death. Yeah, but then they would be draining your batteries real fast. The other way around would be good. It would be at level 3, I think. I think the maximum they can do is 2, 4, 8. So if 8 of them are slaves and 2 of them are masters, then the masters will have level... Fuck, what did they have? 1 or 2 death? Yeah, 1. So I get +3, so they can have 2 masters at level 4 death, which is already enough for a lot of really nasty spells. Okay. I completely forgot to at least look at what is going on here. Yeah, huge chunks, so the mages are sadly not covered. I have 2 different blocks of flyers. So I'll probably at least one block will do something stupid and get killed. One of them will drop right on one of the mages, I hope. Yeah, communion slaves, I knew it. Because if you have astral mages, that's the way to go. So which ones are the masters now? Oh, this is one, but he doesn't have... Oh, enchanted blood. It's some kind of minor healing. Profuse bleeding, a really nasty status effect won't work. The game +1 magic resistance. Kind of funny, but with 9 hit points to start with, that doesn't really help. So, can we see now? Not really. Communion Master, it's still at level 1. And only... What did they raise that? Yeah, so... They're part of a communion. But they aren't gaining anything from it. This one is a communion slave. This one is the communion master. Power of the sepulchre. Yeah, there's some nasty... well, so this is a communion slave. This one is a communion master. Did he go for a mix of slaves and masters, and the end result is none of them get enough power, there aren't enough slaves to gain an additional path in anything, but it could be that he's just using them to dump his fatigue so the others can just spit out this huge stream of soulless warriors. Raise that. Most people use long deaths and do this horde of skeletons. Fucking hell, my brain sometimes. Yeah, so raise that is only level 4, so maybe he doesn't have level 5. I didn't even think of this. So raise that shits out 10 plus undead. Not very dangerous. They have high fatigue cost. And if you are level 1, you can overcast this, I think. Yeah, this may be a trick he is using here. Using the slaves just to dump fatigue, so he can still use raise that even though his mages are technically speaking too weak. Horde of skeletons shits out less units, but is more reliable. Because those lung deaths... fuck. I keep forgetting the exact stats. I still have Dominion's 5 brain, where long death was simply better. Simply better than the soulless warriors you get from raising shit. So I have to go in there again. Yeah, so getting here. Power of the Sepulchre is some kind of blessing spell for undead, I think. So these guys are 15 hit points. That's better than. But this is the reason. Attack skill 7 is kind of ouch and yikes. Comparisons reasons. The long deaths have an attack skill of, well, 15 of course because they are now buffed. But even normally they have something like at least above average, 10 or 11, I don't really remember. Of course I'm completely fucking stupid, I could just start the battle over again, because then I'm seeing things. Stop. Long deaths. Yeah, attack skill 11 and 12. So even if they're kind of brittle, if you have hundreds of them and they're medium protection to protect their major amounts of hit points, then you're in trouble because attack skill 11 can shoot through a lot of troops really fast. Broad skill 16 damage. For comparison sakes again, the other assholes, no, those are the Shadow Vestals. They're really good units, but they're only at 17. Then Arion is casting Raise Dead here. So yeah, those have terrible stats, so having 10 instead of 5 doesn't really help you. Even protection is lower, so they might even die faster than their other brethren. And they even do slightly less damage to boot. And they are undisciplined, so this doesn't really matter if they are battled someone. So as you can see, yeah, so the long death spell is clearly better, but if you want to just clock up an enemy with numbers, Raise Dead is kind of okay still. So interesting, it could also be that since there wasn't much going on, this could be a sign that the main scripting actually didn't really fire. I am cautious here, maybe overly cautious. Oh yeah, and then Asphodel burns someone. So it's still losing a shitload of units, but again, the free spawn nation creates those abominations faster than you can look. Even the Carrion commanders are, by the way, free spawn. So 3 of them killing over that means nothing, because he probably gets 3 of them per turn. And the rest of the army dies. And now Albizia is officially in trouble, because while they have a second army somewhere, the one with the many health spawns. Yeah, that's the militia. And then we have Shrub. Wow, I'm the best. So typically shit here, Hellbred Giants. And some of those Hell Spawn. Good attack skill, not so good at defense. Big, beefy, low protection. And they're firepower, so this means they're getting better if it's hot out. They're completely undisciplined, but they have high heat and fire resistance. And 4 attacks. One of them is even a... No, Fire Flare is, despite his misleading names, not a range attack. Just a very strong armor-piercing fire attack. So, while you can't give them orders, they can fuck your shit up real fast if you have fire resistance. Plant zombies? I guess it's mainly for these mages. Oh, so Chorus are joining the battle. Foul Vapor, so everyone gets poisoned. And Rigor Mortis, so everyone gets their bones broken. It's kind of a wonder that the army is still alive after this. There are some flying units that got over here, I think. Hellspawn. Can they fly? Yes, they can fly. There are some flying units that got in the back row. It's probably the reason some of the commanders died. And really, marching through Foul Vapor as a living unit is kind of awful. So one of those units still exists. Oh, they have poison resistance. That would chance that they're still here. These don't, though. Must have been lucky so far. Oh yeah, poison damage. There it starts. There's still so many undead here. Kind of amazed that it's this close. The entire battlefield is on fire, but it's also filled with deadly gas. That's like World War I chemical warfare division here. It's just another day at the sun. Fire monsters against plant zombies. Fucking hell, it's still going on? This one, oh yeah, it's tired out. Whatever he did made him sleepy. This one, oh fucking hell, mute, vegan limp, yeah. Some of those are not in a good way. Let's speed things up. Yeah, and they're broke. They're broke. They're broke. They're running away, not dying. There were even some surviving units the entire time, but now they're all dead, and now everyone who's still alive runs away as fast as they can. And thus ends Abesia's final army. Well, I did say they have a second one, but nope, that was the second one. So now they are up Shit's Creek. Man, I'm glad they are on our side still. And I'm also glad that we got Darton back. What's our count now? We are still at... No, we are up to 16 provinces. Good news. Finally, right below, final shit here. Beatra is at severely damaged. So I'm guessing next month will be critical, and then we have now spring, I think. Fucking hell, we have autumn. So I guess we can storm the castle in winter. So that's it. For now, our frogs are shadowing the big undead army of Scaleria to see if they still want to take our throne, try to make a short hop into our capital, or if they attack one of their other enemies. Pythium is of course also there and wants to win. And then on the other side we are putting down our eviction notice for Agartha. I just find it funny that after all our preparation to make sure we can deal with this chunk of idiots over here, he has decided instead to take the slow way around, giving us time for more preparation. And the best thing is, of course, each turn he is just walking around without threatening our fortress means we get closer to finally ending Beatra, and then I can just move 200 more units around. That's a lot of more mobility. I probably will be doing something where I am combining these forces into one big army of 300, then dividing them into two armies of 150 with some mage support, and then I'll have them walk around, clean out all those provinces Agartha got, while the main army goes on and tries to do something about the land-based part of Agartha. Also still trying to scout the underground here, because I would really like to see what's there on the other side of Armor before I'm putting an army there, where it can be ambushed from the underground. Would be nice to finally get some caves though. Abesia of course still has a small but sizable force in their capital. I also managed to retake the Caverns of Gold. Yeah, that might be still something we have to deal with here. Asphodel is probably gunning for them. Right the fuck now. Depends on what Asphodel is doing now. I suppose they could just walk down here and then they could clean house. But the longer this takes, the more time we have to do something. Because of course if Abesia is dying really hard, then there is no reason to honor our NAP again. I'll probably dissolve our non-aggression pact the moment Abesia is under siege, because then there is no recovery. Abesia will just be done. or if they stop playing. Right now they are still in the game, so I still count them as my ally here, just because. But as soon as I drop out, we'll be sending armies there. Really just why it's twice as annoying that my backup forces are still stuck at Ulf's final fortress here. But yeah, frog times. They're interesting. Lipluini out.